Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back with an exclusive. I told you all, I promised you all, if something came across the wire, I would bring it to you, right? I promised you that, and I'm just going to keep my word on that. So we are going to start in a few seconds. I'm letting a few more people come in, and then we're going to get started. Hey, bestie. Hey, bestie, I'm back again. Back again. I told you if we had anything breaking, I would come back and let y'all know. And we do. And we do. And we do. Okay, so let's get the disclaimers out the way first, okay? All things said on the platform today are alleged. All suspects that have been accused of breaking any laws deserve their day in court. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. If you are under the age of 18, we highly suggest that you leave the live now. Okay, got that out the way. Let's go. So, and people, we are not saying who's right or wrong, who's lying or telling the truth, or anything like that. Okay, we're not doing that. However, it's almost like we are referees here because you hear one person say something, and then you get a feeling that somewhere down the line this is not going to turn out well, or somebody's going to have a rebuttal to what someone said. And we are in this case, as you all know, for the past 2 days, we have talked about Conscious K Easy. How you doing, brother? Long time no see. Thank you for that heart me, by the way. I appreciate it. Hope you've been doing good, brother. We have been covering for the past couple of days the remarks that T. Howard has said in regards to his experience or time around Puffy Jacket. And then we played some audio of him basically describing what he's seen during a Puffy Jacket party. Now, one of my moderators, and she's not in here now, I don't think, but one of my moderators had said this morning on today's show, earlier today, that she believed that the reason why T. Howard has all of these comments or detailed about what happened in the show is because he was there and participate. She's saying, right? That was what her opinion was. Conscience says, doing good, can't complain when God reigns. Amen to that, brother. It's a blessing, isn't it? DJ Zay, my boy, says Terrance Howard not telling the truth. You don't think he's telling the truth either. Hey, that's what my moderator said this morning. I'm not sure. Was you on? I don't think you was in there this morning. But she was saying the same thing, brother. She was saying the same thing. And so the audio that I'm about to play to you, first of all, the source cred and shout out to MREC TV does a phenomenal job on YouTube. But he just dropped something where T. Howard is basically, he just at a war of words. Put it like this: T. Howard is responding to the comments that Big Gene Deal said, right? And things get a little crazy. It's to the point where T. Howard was like basically saying, hey, we can meet up and we can squabble up. And it could be either way you want it to be. It could be reading. It could be just a war of words. It could be a knife. Or we could even take it to the whatever kind of play you want. I'm here for it. We can meet up and get down with it. I done spoke too much. I'm going to let y'all hear it for yourself. Let's go.
MREC TV.
Listen, before y'all talk about me, y'all need to talk to me.
Terrance and Diddy took a picture together at a party. Oh, look what Diva said. Look what Diva said. That's crazy. But was that picture that he took with him before the incident or after what he did? Maybe they met at that party.
Hold on. Woo! Woo! We're coming out hot, coming out heavy. Okay. Shout out to Gene Deal, too. I like Gene Deal. I like it. I believe, everything he's saying for him. But he said, did that happen? Was it before or after what happened between them?
What happened between them?
He just said, did that happen? Did he say that before or after what happened between them? Did y'all heard that? I don't think y'all heard him. I think it was going too fast and it went over y'all head. We're gonna take it back a little bit.
We don't know. That's crazy. But was that picture that he took with him before the incident?
The incident. What was the incident? And DJ Zay, this might just be what you was talking about when you were saying that T. Howard might be lying. Again, people, I'm not here to say if he was or wasn't, but I wasn't there. But I am bringing you the news. And you know I'm not lying because you hear it being said. But what was the incident?
Or after what he did? Maybe.
Or after what he did. T. Howard.
What did you do?
What? Pink Tech, hey, how you doing? I've been missing you, lady. Man, yes, it is crazy. You right. This is nuts. This is wild. This is bizarre.
Maybe they met at that party. We don't know. We do know he made the statement.
Some people were going to end up turning evidence in order to save their reputation.
There's mad missing parts in that story because that ain't how.
Hold up. Some people. Let's just go back, people, man. I don't even want to paraphrase. Let's go back.
Deductibles.
Let's get away from. Hold on, people. No thanks. Hold on.
While calling me a liar.
Hold on.
Is he citing Section 106 name?
Come on.
Y'all talk about me.
Hold on, y'all.
Their reputation.
There's mad missing parts in that story.
Okay, y'all heard her say that? Listen.
Some people were going to end up turning evidence in order to save their reputation.
Some people were going to turn evidence in order to save their reputation. How many of y'all used to watch Good Times back in the day? And y'all remember Sweet Daddy and what he used to always tell JJ?
T. Howard, my man, you in trouble.
I'm just saying. What was the evidence? Listen. He got some explaining to do. Forgive me for getting ahead of myself. Maybe I shouldn't have said he's in trouble because I really don't know what happened or what's true and what's not. But what I'm saying is what he's been saying. Listen, man. Listen.
Mad missing parts in that story because that ain't how everybody else said did he give it up. Niggas out here getting they Babylonian buns ballpark. Pause. In Buns ballpark. Pause. Some parts in that story because that ain't how everybody else said did he give it up. Niggas out here getting they Babylonian Buns ballpark. Pause.
Listen, before y'all talk about me, y'all need to talk to me. You see, once upon a time, if a man questioned another man's honor, he didn't do it from the shadows. He had to do it out in the open, with his name, his chest out, and his chin high. Not hiding behind a keyboard or tucked behind editing clips of fair use disclaimers. You see, citing Section 107 of the Copyright Act does not give you free rein to defame, misrepresent, or harm another's reputation. Fair use is not a shield for character assassination. So here's the simple truth. If you take my words, my image, my ideas, and twist them to feed your fear and inflate your ego, if you profit off of my name while calling me a liar, then be prepared to stand behind your accusations.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Wait, let's stop. Let's take a break for a minute. It's getting hot. Everything is getting hot. Everything is getting bizarre, all right? So let's hold on. Let's try to bring the pressure down a little bit, all right? So when T. Howard is telling Big Gene that, hey, don't use my name or defame my character out of fear. Okay, what does Big Gene have to fear about or fear for? Demetrius, what up, brother? He said, how was he able to get Empire if he couldn't go on the Hershey Highway? Listen. Man, Demetrius, look, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, we listen and we don't judge, right? Right? Or, hey, in the words of my wife, and she's got a new shirt coming out too, but she says, we pray and we don't judge. Listen. So do they both got something to hide? Like, what's going on here, people? Who do you think? Whose story do you buy? Do you all think Big Gene got something to hide or something to fear or to cover up for himself? Or do you think T. Howard? I'm trying to be unbiased on both sides, but this is getting crazy.
Because in the old world, men didn't hide behind anything. When they spoke against someone, they had to speak it with their whole being. And if you're going to speak against me, then use the same.
If you're here in Georgia and you've got an old...
Hold on. We gotta get back. Come on, it's getting good. Don't do that. Don't do that to it.
Man to man, eye to eye. Integrity and in truth. I've spent a lifetime earning the right to speak with the conviction about these truths that I speak. So if you want to tear that down, have the decency to come and say it directly to my face. And say it like a man. If you're going to talk about the geometry, have other geometries to argue against it. If you're going to talk about the supersymmetry, speak of other supersymmetries that would work against it. If you're going to talk about the white papers, provide your own white paper as an argument to argue against the equations or the conclusions. But we're going to do this respectfully, otherwise we'll end in a duel. And I mean a duel, real life duel, where only one person walks away. We can meet with guns, bottles, knives, or books and equations. But
Hey, what we used to say in middle school and elementary, those fighting words. Those are fighting words. To me, that sounded like a challenge. Sound like he was telling Gene Deal, hey, listen, we can meet up and we can just, I don't know. Did y'all heard the same thing? Y'all heard the same thing. Demetrius says he speaks mad game, but I think they both went in on the road trip. Both went on the road trip. Oh man, listen. Let me tell you, and we don't judge, but I'm just gonna let me put it this way. I would be shocked. If when the dust settles, Big Gene done got bent over. Listen. Demetrius says, nah, T. Howard got something special in that big brain of his. Wow. Look. Man. My moderator in here now, and she just said it's getting crazy. I had to agree with her.
We're going to do this like men. So, get ready. Get ready.
Peace.
Yo, Rec, what up, God?
What's going on? Peace, God. Talk to me.
This is KV the One.
You already know what it is, man.
We got
KV
the One on the line. Hold on 1 second. Shouts to Legendary on the super chat. It said Biggie had fun boy lyrics. KV.
Fidax.
What's the word?
Fidax. Yo. So your man hit the screen and told us niggas out here getting a Babylonian Buns ballpark. Pause.
Yo, this is wild.
It's out of control.
This is wild.
Break the pause.
Niggas getting a Babylonian Buns ballpark like we ain't noticed already.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, let me say this though. I don't believe this nigga whole story, man. I'm not believing. Listen, I feel like personally, I'm going to keep saying it.
Mm-hmm.
The feds is involved with all these niggas.
Mm-hmm.
Everything done flipped.
Yo, what have we been telling y'all? What have we been telling y'all here on hashtag I'm going to say it? What have we been saying? LEOs, judges, attorneys, prosecutors, they all be involved. Night Nurse 558 says feds are definitely involved. I can't. Just one thing I got to say to her comment. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? This man just said it. KV the One just said it. Go back and listen to some of Biggie's lyrics. He told us. Look at what happened out there to Biggie in LA on the night of his demise. Demetrius says, that's why I stuck with De La Soul. Backdoor Boys for Life is actually the real logo. Hey, I love De La Soul. I love De La Soul. I ain't gonna even hold you on that. I'm with you on that, brother. I love De La Soul. People, it's getting crazier and crazier. Like, I don't even know if this is the last show we're gonna have today, the way things are going. Matter of fact, we may just need to pull out some covers, some pillows, get some snacks, and just chill out together for the night, the way things is going now.
The feds is involved. They got these niggas on the ropes.
We love TikTok Shop.
And they basically committing to their last option right now. They coming out and they saying things about people because they already tied up in these cases, man. I'm not buying. I saw some of the interview.
Hold on, we're going to pause it right there because my bestie just came in. What's up, Sharita? So here's what we're talking about now. Thank you for that rose, beautiful. I appreciate that. Thank you. Here's what we're talking about now, bestie. Remember the past two shows we've been talking, 2 or 3 shows. We've been talking about T. Howard and his comments that he made about how Puffy Jacket tried to get at him, made an advancement towards him. And he also talked about what he had seen at Puffy Jacket's party. Well, Big Gene Deal, you know, he was the bodyguard for Puffy Jacket at one point. And he went on TV's podcast and basically just said that T. Howard and Puffy Jacket did do something. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he was saying. And again, I ain't here to say if it's true or not. I'm not here to do that. I'm just bringing you the news as it comes out.
I'm not buying niggas trying to tell me
TikTok Shop is great.
This nigga was at a Diddy party with all that baby oil, and somehow he the only one that made it out with his Babylonian buns unballpark, man. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Big pause. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I don't care how much this nigga get on YouTube
TikTok Shop
and talk about
we
this
love TikTok
Jedi
Shop.
Knight lightsabers he making in the basement with all the technology he got from all of the gods that made all the old. No, I'm not trying to buy none of that. This nigga is a Hollywood nigga.
We love TikTok
and he
Shop.
down with the Epstein crew, and they jammed all these niggas up.
We love
and
TikTok
now
Shop.
they out here talking because they all a part of cases. They tied in to somebody that ain't make it back, and other people that got things done, bodily harm, and all kinds of other wild stuff.
Demetrius. This is
They
crazy.
out here wilding, man. That's a fact. Shout out to Real Sassafras. They got they Babylonian buns ballpark, B.
Listen, I got salute. Okay, let's pause for the cause for a second. Thank you for that rose, Night Nurse. I appreciate the gifts, love. Thank you so much. Let's pause for a second, people, because we got to go back. We got to go back some months ago. We did a show, and we brought to you all the comments that Daniel Baldwin had made. And Daniel Baldwin had made the comments in this particular interview that he done. He stated that there was people in Hollywood that were having their agents, having their attorneys pay money to get these tapes that's being sold on the black market of them at Puffy Jacket's freak-offs. And what they was doing. Now, he also stated that some of them were doing that. They were buying the tapes and paying, and some of the victims, they were even paying off so they would be quiet because they're married and they didn't want their wives to find out. Look, I don't know if that meant they was having sex with other females and they didn't want their wives to find out, or they were having sex with other guys and they didn't want their wives to find out. Either way, I think we can agree that bodes for things not being good. That much we do know, right? Sharita says what people don't understand is that it's a point of no return. Once you go there, it would take power to keep you from returning. Bestie, you hit the nail right on the head. And I'm talking about you got the biggest hammer. You got the biggest hammer and you just hit the nail right on the head. Demetrius said, like I said, if he got major roles, he was deep in the matrix for, he say he was flexible and bent over and grabbed them ankles, didn't he? Listen, people. Again, because I preach to y'all, I don't judge. And I wholeheartedly stick to that. I don't care if a man decides he's interested in another man. I don't care. Not my preference. But I don't care what you do. As long as you don't bring it to me, we're good. I can be friends with you as long as you don't try me that way. We straight. Do what you do. Your bedroom is your bedroom. Okay? But don't sit up here and say you didn't and you did. Nightmare. I keep calling you Night. I don't know what other person I'm thinking about. Night Nurse says, don't believe Terrance would do that. And again, I hope he didn't. I'm going to be honest with you. I hope he didn't. And I can't say if he did or didn't. I can't say if Gene Deal's telling the truth or not. I can't even say Gene Deal didn't participate. I'm going to be honest. I got to keep an open mind about everything because we got to be honest, people. We got to keep it $150. Everything coming out is wild. And some people, in some cases that we assume wouldn't be nowhere near none of this, we've seen them in videos. Demetrius says that goes for all those jokers guaranteed who next Chestnut and Diggs. Listen, and guess what? Though? That's been stated. Like, people get their roles this way. And not only men, women too. She said, Sharita says, why would they be on him now? Because he came out and spoke. Because he came out and spoke. See, now a lot of, like, I don't want to get too deep in because, you know, earlier today, we was getting real in here, and they shut down the live. They paused the live for a minute. We had to start it back up. But it's been going on for quite some time. And if you want the highest paying role, or you want the highest level of whatever in that realm of entertainment, and again, it's athletes as well, but you know, it's really about how far you're going to go to get it. What all are you going to do in order to get this role, to make this bag? What are you going to do? And in some cases, like I was saying earlier, in some cases, more often than not, they invite certain people that they've been, you know, checking out and thinking about, invite them to the party. They come to the, why you think you got to turn in your cell phones before you come in the party, people? You come into the party, they offer you drinks. You think it's just a regular party. You got your drink. You feeling yourself. You vibing. They playing good music. Next thing you know, you drink your drink, and they done got you upstairs in one of them rooms. And it could be one. It could be multiple. And they're gonna record that, people. And then when you finally decide, hey, you sober up, you trying to think what happened. They'll show you the footage. Hey, this is what we got. If you don't conform and do what we say, we will leak this to the masses. Everybody will find out about this. You in this compromising situation. I ain't gonna hold you long. Let's go.
That's crazy. That's crazy, Rec. And he trying to act like.
This week, we're hosting a free trading and investment.
Because he out here trying to give niggas a new Pythagorean theorem.
We love
and all
TikTok
that,
Shop.
that we supposed to believe he the only nigga that made it out the party untouched. We don't believe you, kid. You need more people.
Well, let me say this now, because I didn't watch the full interview. I saw, you know, like clips, and this is one of the clips I saw, right? Did he say, because I heard him say him and Diddy met up personally. So did he go to the Diddy parties or did he not?
He said he was in, Diddy called him. He came over there the first time to talk about a movie and script, and Diddy was just looking at him. And then he just left. Then Diddy called him back another time, and then for some music, wanted to hear some music, and then he was looking at him, and then he felt uncomfortable again, and he just left. It's mad missing parts in that story, because that ain't how everybody else said Diddy give it up. That ain't even how the cartoon said Diddy give it up. They even got Diddy wilding. That the cartoon didn't even say that. You know what I'm saying? We the drink.
Oh man, the cartoon. I forgot who did the cartoons. Ah man, I forgot. They be on YouTube. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. It was funny. They did not funny because of what was going on, but it was funny how they had the cartoon characters of Puffy Jacket, you know, on that. Man, I wish I could remember their name. Night and Day Network. That's it. Night and Day Network. And they had the cartoons. In fact, the cartoons was showing. They basically were the first ones to put out that Puffy Jacket was diddling in Gay J. And I think the other one was Lil Zane. I think it was the other one. Y'all remember Lil Zane?
We know it'd be drinks with the crunchy stuff on the inside, right? Right? Because we seen that from the cartoon. Now, allegedly, that's in the reports and all of that too. It's in the lawsuits and all that too. The drinks with the crunchy stuff, the baby oil. We know about that. He ain't mentioned none of that. He talked about other niggas that was at the Diddy party.
We love TikTok
then
Shop.
Said Diddy saw him dolo, but he was at a couple Diddy parties. But then he ran into Diddy dolo a couple times because Diddy called his manager. Basically, he got flued out, and all Diddy did was stare at him, and he left.
Well, you know, one of the things I was saying in the super chat was that at this point, the information is so convoluted. You know, we don't know who's who. And this is one of the things that the earth prepared us for, because she talked about it. Like, some people were going to end up turning evidence in order to save their reputation. So, and we could just look at some of the people's behavior in the past throughout their career, and then all of a sudden, they're coming out so-called exposing, and they have these stories. Like, we can kind of pick up on the energy.
Real spill.
Correct.
When it comes to Terrance Howard, I've kind of watched his career, and I have definitely been seeing for the last couple of years, since he's been on his journey in regards to science, mathematics, and spirituality, he's definitely been catching, a lot of blowback, because people were not open to the things that he was talking about. Now, whether or not he's telling the truth about him being involved, I just agree with what he said about manhood. And this is a conversation that I think would be so beneficial for women and men to have with their young sons.
Okay, that part she's talking about, I'm going to pause for a minute, because some of y'all didn't even see the interview to even know what she meant by what she just said. So in the interview, he didn't just automatically come out and talk about the things that went on, or the things that Puffy Jackie did to him, or how he made him feel. He didn't just come out and say that. He started out talking about your manhood, and how he was raised, and what his daddy taught him, and things as far as being a man. And he was basically saying, you only get your man card one time. Like, you can't let. Basically, he was saying, without being so graphical about it, but I'm sure you all, I'm mature enough, you could use your own mind. But he basically was saying, like, once you bend over and you busted open for another man, you are no longer a man. That's what he's saying. That's what he was saying. So that's what she meant by, I agree with what he was saying about the manhood. Okay. Hold on, Sharita. It cut off. I don't see what you said before. It just said when Puffy Jacket asked him, he showed him whatever, that when there was a pause. Yeah. So, okay. And that's what he's saying, Sharita. Like, so the one incident happened as far as Puffy Jacket wanted him to teach him how to do the acting and help him on that, right? So he wanted to start doing acting. So he basically was asking him to teach him how to do that. And then on a separate occasion, when the second time, Puffy Jacket was telling him he wanted to hear his music. And so he was playing his music for him. He's like, but the whole time, Puffy Jacket just kept staring at him. And so then he stated that his manager told him that Puffy Jacket wanted him to come back another day. And he was like, for what? And remember, that's when he was saying that his manager told him he wants to F him,
Like, this is deeper than a physical thing. Like, this is spiritual. And when you break it down in that aspect, a lot of these young men would look at it totally different. Because a lot of times it's just like drugs. If you really had a true education of the ramifications.
Hold on, commercial. Hold on, y'all. We're going to get back to it. Yes, yeah. And that's what they're basically doing, trying to take their soul. That's what it's about, really, Bestie.
When you put certain things in your body, or you participate in certain behaviors, and you realize, like, the deep spiritual that comes with that, you think twice. You're not so susceptible to, the materialism of it. You can have this, or you can get this reward, because he's telling it like, all of these people that they got these rewards, they don't look happy, and you can see it on their face. Their spirit looks dead. They're dry.
Didn't we say that when we was covering on the episode we was covering Chris Smith from Crisscross, God rest his soul? Wasn't we talking about that? Didn't we say that when we brought up JB and look how he changed? And didn't we talk about Bow Weezy? We talked about Old Brown. All these kids that came in when they were younger when they came in, and they were all, it was the difference between their character and their mannerisms when they first came in as opposed to after what we can pretty much allege happened to them. There's a difference.
All of the life force energy's been sucked out of them. And see, that's the part they don't tell you. When you go and participate and make these so-called decisions, you just
Hey, there's something I want to pause that and I want to tell y'all, because understand, even when there's Rudy, everybody.
Hey, you want to see Rose?
And so when these people, and not just them, even in your life with you, understand when you go to be intimate with somebody, there's soul exchanging going there. You have to understand that. Hey, some people you can do that with and you not have no care, no anything about them after it's done. But there's some that you go there with and be intimate with, and you can't shake them for the rest of your life. Be it you love them, you just can't get them out of your. It doesn't matter. You just cannot. You can't sever ties with them or anything. She wants to show y'all her Cabbage Patch doll. All right, there it is. All right, go play. You understand? So it's a serious thing. So now and I'm really just talking about the hetero part of it, right? So imagine the other. We're just gonna say the other. Okay.
Fell in a trap.
In
you
this
just
situation,
tricked yourself out of your life and you didn't even realize it. So, whether he was involved or not, I mean, time may tell, it may not. But what he was speaking on in regards to manhood and integrity, it was the truth. And for me, I've learned to just take the meat and leave the bones. Because if you are who you are, that's on you. You're going to pay the price for who you are. You're going to be exposed. Your behavior eventually will possibly and probably be exposed. But one thing I learned, I went to go hear the minister speak, and one of the things he said was, the truth don't care nothing about how you feel.
Correct.
Got him.
And see, that's the thing that sometimes we get caught up in. We don't like the particular messenger, so we turn down the information. Oh, I don't like him. He probably lying. If it's the truth, it's the truth, whether you like that person or not.
Correct.
So that's why I say I just take the meat and leave the bones.
I appreciate you. Great assessment as always, Queen. Salute to all my truckers. You be safe on that road. And thank you for all the support.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Shout out to the Wreck Mob.
Yeah. Salute to the Wreck Mob. Salute to all my truckers. Songs by Alicia.
You ain't from around.
So, what do you all think? I figured I had to bring that to you. I had to bring that to you once again. Sharita says that's why a lot of people can't stand the truth. Facts. Real rap. That's true. You can't. Some of them just can't. But hey, we gonna follow this through. And like I told y'all before, anything come across the wire, we'll meet right back here and I'll bring it to you. Thank you all for joining me. I've been your self-proclaimed favorite news reporter, Mr. Breaking News, reporting from the newsroom.